2. Hey y'all, it is your favorite practitioner, the holistic practitioner, and you already know we're back with another hit. It is the Hive Mind, where we are celebrating self, dreams coming true, and mental health. Act like you know. Act like you know. We are here recording episode 2 again because perfectionism has decided to strike. What had happened was I put this up on YouTube because I just love CC so much. First of all, women can get anything they want out of me. And CC in particular deserves every bit of that. And she really wanted to listen to my podcast, so I was like, okay, I'll upload them and I'll do like a private link or unlisted so you can listen to them for your own leisure. And so I uploaded up to 2 or 3 episodes, and I had listened to the second one back. And I remember at the time when I did it, I was like, yeah, my audio's going out because I was outside. I love doing my podcast outside. I was outside and the wind was blowing so hard that it kept knocking my audio out. And when I was listening to it, I was like, no ma'am, no, we're not going out like that. And I'm going to try my very best to put myself back in that place. It was a wonderful place I was in. I had currently went back to Arkansas because I desperately needed a break. You know when you leave your comfort zone and you just need just like a little taste back of it? I desperately needed a break. The entire time I was back home in Columbus, where I'm at now, which is 2 hours away from Atlanta, I was just not able to do any of the work that I intended to for myself. I was sick, I was stressed, and speaking of sick, like it was just the attack of the autoimmune, and then I was just trying to get acquainted with the family around me, trying to get back a hold of my very much so, I thought at the time, matured friendships, seasoned friendships. It was just so much. And I'm like, one, I need a trip. I need a dopamine hit because we all know that I'm sober. And I need that dopamine hit. And 2, I need to get this work done. And back home, me and my friends, we did for each other. Happily. For each other. Happily. And I'm like, you know what? I'm finna go back home and I'm finna be with my team. And I'm finna get this work done, which some of it I'm still trying to finish. I actually started this podcast end of August. That's whenever I went. And it's now October. Future Nadia, speaking to past Nadia girl, we're about to be on episode 7, honey. What is life looking like right now? Yeah, you finally put yourself out there to interview people because you want for this to be your job. And we know very well that if you want something, especially you being you go out there and you create it. And this right now is building your resume. Girl, you just drafted up an email from Miss CC Mercer. We love CC Mercer. Okay. And yeah, we finna interview her, girl, next week. And who knows? Like, Ariel J has agreed. You've interviewed CC, of course. And that was a wonderful interview. You've interviewed Nas B. Nas B the GOAT. Like, ... Like, so anyway, I was in that place at the time when I recorded it. We were at the river with Kaylin, and when I tell you a perfect weekend it was, a perfect weekend it was. And I got so much done. And it was on my cycle. Like, I was really amazed at the amount of things that I got done. Being on my cycle all week, having a hard week at work, restocking my products, preparing for that weekend, then traveling and getting up the next day to do pretty much an all-day shoot, hang out with my friends, rest, and then go back home. I ate that up. Now, do I suggest for people to do themselves like this? Not for long periods of time. But when you got the energy to do it, girl, use it up. One thing about me, I love me a manic episode. And when you are diagnosed with ADHD, you have super, super highs and you have super, super lows. And I have consistently, I got a manic episode and I've been drawing it out, girl. So at this point, the motivation, which I'm very blessed to have, because Lord knows motivation does not come every day. The motivation has stayed. The consistency, my girl, which is something we've been trying to master our entire lives, is here. We're besties and we're roomies. And the adrenaline, I am running off adrenaline and sheer excitement at this point. I've been doing this since August, and it's October. All of my free time has gone towards building this podcast, and I am very proud to say that. Getting back on point. This episode is called Genesis and the Gypsy, and we are exploring my personal reflection about beginnings, wandering, and choosing peace, and how choosing peace sometimes can lead to ugly unravelings. It's very uncomfortable for the body and the mind, but it is what you need to succeed, because at the time the only thing I wanted was peace, baby. It's something that should be free and accessible at our disposal. I didn't have it. I'm looking at the camera right now, staring, emphasizing how much I did not have no peace. RT, for this episode, how did it feel choosing peace in real time? I had to ground myself in that moment heavily, because choosing peace was not answering the phone anymore. I had to ignore people, okay, because I just absolutely had nothing left to give. And where I was, like the space that I was in, I kept hearing, "You're young, you have so much energy, I don't know why you're tired." Even after explaining the type of job that I have now, how it is asking 5 people out of one little old me. Okay, I'm talking emotional exhaustion, mental exhaustion, physical, all of it. Very much so triggering the autoimmune in my bones. Okay, there was that. There was the getting reacquainted. There was the personal stuff. There was the trying to maintain my sense of self, create some sort of peace, because I came here with the plan of living in one space, and it turned into me having to live into multiple spaces because there was a hazard in the house. Okay, and you're going through all this while trying to learn a brand new job, people, yourself, and spaces. It was incredibly too much. So I got to the point where I just had to start putting my foot down. One thing about me, I will communicate when things change, when I can't do what I promised, or like if I'm running late, whatever the case may be. And all I kept getting was, "Oh, well, I still need you and you need to be here." And me being me, because I already made the promise, I tried my best to keep it, but still showing up after you know something is a no for you, me personally, it's gonna show on my face that I ain't got it today. Okay, and as much as I've tried to work on that, I've probably made very little progress. And it ain't gonna just show up in my face. You gonna feel it emanating off of my aura. the whole room, the atmosphere will thicken. Okay, little old me, I have the power to do that. And so because I know that, and it can hurt someone as if it's a weapon, I am choosing from now on that if I don't have it, I will not make it happen. I will not force it, because when you know what you have, whether good or bad, you use it wisely, okay? And it can end up putting you and someone else in an uncomfortable position, going against the grain, essentially. Putting my foot down got me called rude. I was anxious every time it happened, because unfortunately, when it comes to some things, I do care what people say, because I am very much so a character builder, and I believe in self-awareness and character building. Okay, so it's just some things you can't let slide with yourself, but I'm just like, at the same time, I'm like, dude, I already told you what it was, and you wanted me to be there anyway. So here we are. My overwhelm was showing up as attitude, and for Black women, us being depleted shows up as heart body characteristics. It shows up as attitude, as snapping, shakiness, flaky is the word that I needed. Flakiness is not a good look, but it's just like, we, just like Black men, were raised to have a hard exterior and to take punches left and right. But baby, I am here to release you from those shackles. Don't do it. Put them down, actually. Release yourself from the grips of being an Iron Maiden matriarch. If you need to rest, go rest. If you need to say no, say no. And no, again, is a complete sentence, and it's good enough. Honestly, it's freeing when you don't explain your no. I'm here to let you know from the other side. And with that, if you notice that someone's acting like that, be careful about calling someone mean or rude or lazy or unreliable, because you may not know how much is on their shoulders. Our capacity has limits, and we are to respect that. We were not taught to, but as a fellow sister, holistic practitioner, and psychology student for life, I'm telling you what I know from experience, and I hope that me telling you that it's okay to respect your limits and be aware of them is somehow freeing. Eventually, the shift in your body will become positive. It won't make you scared. You won't have to rely on people pleasing to get to where you need, or for comfort, because we can only create comfort for ourselves and peace for ourselves. So for the Hive, I will be introducing you to my piece called Genesis and the Gypsy, and I hope you enjoy. Let's pretend that I'm on my own open mic stage, because the tone and everything is just going to be completely different. Okay. Honestly, matter of fact, think of me as being on a radio station. It's giving Alicia Keys when she was in the cafe, calling all dude. Y'all remember that. Happy New Day, favorites. I wanted to take care of my mental health today by reading one of my most recent pieces, the Book of Genesis and the Gypsy. I actually wanted to re-record this for one of my episodes. I believe it's the second. So here we go. The Book of Genesis and the Gypsy. I came here for better, and am quickly reminded that I have to be the one to create it. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. Overzealous and tired arguments. The energy of the land that I thought had greener grass is actually soiled with bullshit. I'm not ashamed to admit that I've made sandcastles, stained my dress a time or two, and also danced in it. God really does laugh at our plans, you know. He also lets the devil do his thing, but he doesn't let him touch us. I'm always quickly protected, but I'm always one decision away from deliverance. Deliverance, the kind that you receive not by prayer, but by choices you make. What I decide to entertain, consume, take care of, or let loose. This big city, I came here for my bigger dreams to have room. I'm quickly shown who I am now, or how I've regressed, what I brought here with me, and what I've repressed. I'm thinking I still am who I was when I loved the crowd. Silly that I become smaller than it now. Obstacles, lashings, and mantles have made my wings shrivel up, my insides swell, my hands tremble, and my mind shaky. I try to shine still. I look in the mirror and see the light bulb above my shoulders that only blinks and twinkles. Past it, dark rings under starlit eyes and a smile accommodated with wrinkles. I thought people like me become Iron Maidens after a while. Maybe my missing puzzle piece is peace. That way I can recluse and amend my wounds and maybe become still. I hope thoughts I hear and emotions I feel are of honesty, truth, and gentleness. I pray myself in due season I can create a foundation of glean and proudness of my sobriety. That way I can better serve myself and others and not end up showing only with what is left and my worst. Sovereign, is that the word? I pray in my next season I am Nadia the Sovereign, the speaker, the writer, the guider that soars and has her feet planted on solid ground. Just for right now, I am a gypsy, something that just sounds pretty. Running from one state to the next in search of something that should already be inside me. Where I don't have to repeat my boundaries or yell or block to be heard. Where Nadia is different isn't used as a tool, upbringing, or a weapon. I'll be proud of me and who I am at the moment. She deserves love and gentleness too. Only 3 months in, long days and time flying by made me forget that this is only the beginning. And there we have it, my piece, Genesis in the Gypsy. Thank you so much for staying through my open mic, my TED Talk, my radio show. And lastly, we will get into pollinating the mind. Because we all deserve to leave here with something. I want you to find you a good old journal and write in that journal a prompt with the following words. Where in your life are you searching for something that should already live inside of you? Because baby, to be honest, I'ma chase me a trip and I'ma chase me some peace. And I think it's been a long time for me to be a holistic practitioner. I actually got used to just alchemizing what I had into what I needed it to be. But at that point, I was not able to because everything was smothering me. I had to go chase myself some peace by going on a trip. And I came back with, I cannot live how I was living before I went on this trip. This happened all within the span of a weekend. Then that's when I made a major change to just completely isolate myself, remove myself from these places, disappoint people, and low-key disappoint myself because I had to let go of things that I once prayed for. Okay, and at first they did make me happy, but because I didn't set the foundation and the boundaries with action, not just words, with action, I had to let it go. Again, God be liking the humorous sometimes, but other times he be like, it's not really the time for that. So we gonna do it my way. So I want you to sit with yourself, light a candle, light an incense, spray some Florida water up and down the walls. Okay, turn on some jazz music. And think of where in your life are you searching for something that should already live inside you? Be gentle at all times. It is all our first time living. And know at the end of the day that we are holding hands. And I love ya. Have a great one, and thank you for tuning in to episode 2, Genesis in the Gypsy by the Hive Mind.